Alright, this thing is hanging out down at the VWAP there. I don't know. OBS done disconnected on me 3 times. I don't guess I'm going to have to make sure I move that internet in here today. How you doing that? I've only saw 2 trades so far. Moving down, testing that VWAP now. Alright guys, I don't know if I'm alive or not. I have no idea. We got to no idea if we are actually live. I guess we are live. All right. I don't know, man. My OBS keeps disconnecting. I'm on an Ethernet over power. I guess I have not had any issues with it. And then this past 4 or 5 days, we started having issues. So I guess I'm going to move my internet back here to the office today. We just have a hardwired connection at that point. So kind of bouncing off that pivot point there at the 81, right there where the VWAP is. May not be a bad area to consider a long if the volume pops in here, but we shall see. Hopefully OBS doesn't disconnect again. Let me check my stops and make sure. Yeah, it messed with my stops. Goodness gracious. All right, 152, 60, 80, 40. Okay. And I did notice I had this one wrong. Got it backwards. All right. Got about 1 minute left on this 15-minute candle. Let's go ahead and mark out our high and our low. Right here at a pivot point at the 81. So well, just about 30 seconds left here. Let's see if this thing. I like it to bounce back up into the range. I don't really love it hanging down at the bottom here. And that's what it's doing. All right. So we'll be getting short there at 73, 75, I guess. And we'll see what happens. I may have put that in the wrong spot, but let's see if it just sells through there. All right, tagged in on the other ones as well. So 73.75, we're looking for 53.75, and we'll move our stop down to 63.75. So let's see here. So we're looking for it to sell down into the 53.75. All right, there it is. So we're going to move our stop to 63.75. So stops at 63. All right. See if this thing can continue to push. Now we're looking for 43 without it touching 63. Come on, don't stop me out. All right, stopped out there. Followed the rules on it. That's okay. $300, or what is that? Was that $200 in profit, I think? $391 on the Topsteps, 190. Did I not have that right? 73.75. I thought I put it at 63. Maybe I did, but anyways. So that's the 15-minute breakout there. So we made 390 on the Topstep accounts and 190 on the Bulenox, and then on the other two accounts, $20 or so. Hold on one second, guys. I'll be right back. How's it going, Kelvin? Sales, maybe. Who knows? If we're going to fill that gap, gap's down to 505. Hold on one second. Yeah, Kelvin. It happens. Alrighty. Sorry about that, guys. My mom called, so I had to take that call. Yeah, that's the thing about the 15-minute breakout. Moving the stop to plus 10 is a bit aggressive, but I've found that if you hit plus 20 and it does not go to plus 38, it's almost always a loser, right? Like 9 out of 10 times. So as you can see, we hit plus 20 and then we didn't go to 38, and now we're going to pop back up. So our stop, we were at 73.75, so our stop would have been 88.75. So let's just, we'll put a little line there just to kind of see if we would have got stopped out or not on this one. Over here, the stop was at 88, and over here off stream, it was also at 88. So that's how I came up with those numbers. It's, when you do your back testing, you can kind of figure those kind of things out. So if it at least hits plus 20, you're at least happy about it. Still a winning trade, right? I mean, I took that on 6 accounts. 3 Bulenox, so 191 times 3. And then 3 Topsteps, 391 times 3. So a decent little winner there. Now, see, this one just came back up and kind of retested. I do like the look of that, actually. It's kind of a little ABC setup here if you look. I mean, you got your A leg, B leg, and then your C leg back down. but don't see the sellers coming in here yet. And we're going to take the 5-minute gap breakout, the 5-minute gap trade over here on the Topstep with just 1 micro this week. We're going to do it every single day, 1 micro. I'm definitely got to move the internet. That frustrates me when the stuff cuts off. It did that to me on Friday. I don't know if it shut the stream down, but my internet blinked right at the entry. It was either Thursday or Friday, and yeah, I think it was Thursday. And I didn't get filled over here, but looking back on that, I think that was an issue that I had with the trade copier and not necessarily the internet blinking off there. No real sellers to speak of just yet. They're trying to pop through here, but nothing yet. ES is below the VWAP there. Mancini says that 24 supports, I believe. Let's take a look here. Yeah, 24 supports. So the ES is pretty much right at that support level. So I would expect a bounce back up here, most likely, get back above that VWAP. So happy to at least taking some profits out of that 5-minute or that 15-minute breakout there. Breakout, breakdown. At least it got us to the 20 handles pretty quickly there. Can't complain about that. So pushing back up here, retesting the VWAP. Like I said, you know, there is CPI this Wednesday. Yeah. We just might participate in that CPI. There's not going to be a might. We are going to participate. We'll get more into that, but we are going to participate in the CPI on Wednesday. We're going to full send it. Full send it. So if you guys are interested in seeing how I trade that, you can tune in Wednesday morning. And see, there we go. We would have been stopped out with no profit had we not locked in 10. So quite happy to lock in 10 handles there. It's kind of weird how that intraday drawdown works, right? So like, for example, this trade here, we were up 20 handles. We locked in 10. I guess we were up a little more than 20. Bounced right off to 51. But let's just use 20 number for an example. So we're up 20 handles. We lock in 10. So we gain 10 handles in profit. And we lose 10 handles on the drawdown. So essentially it's a wash. We didn't gain or lose anything today on those trades. On our drawdown there. But you can see what I'm saying. If we break through the 15-minute and we don't continue down into the 30 handles, 38 handles, then it almost always stops you out for a loss. That's why you want to at least lock in the 10. Because if we didn't lock in the 10 here, we would have lost money. So that's where that back testing is very, very important. And knowing what price is likely to do in these scenarios. So still a win. Just not as big of a win as we wanted to have, but I'll take a win. We will take a win. I'll show you guys here just so you see. So we took this 190 on this first Bulenox, 195 on the second Bulenox, 195 on the third Bulenox, and then we come down here, Topstep 391, and then we got two more Topsteps, 391 and 391. So we are taking 2 contracts on Topstep because they're challenge accounts and we don't have to worry about the drawdown. We're only taking 1 contract on the Bulenox accounts. So there you go. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe. The 80% off sale through APEX does end tomorrow, just so you guys know. We do have a link in the description with a code for that. I do recommend Topstep. That's the one I prefer. Again, if you use the link in the description to sign up for an account and you've never had a Topstep account before, my link will actually get you the 50K account for $39 instead of $49. So don't know how long that'll last, but To me, that's I know the Apex is a little cheaper, but I like the value of the Topstep when it comes to the end of day drawdown. I just like that. Even though it's got a daily loss limit, I think that I never hit my daily loss limit. I mean, I've had my funded account for 26 days now, and 26 trading days, and then these other accounts that I'm just starting, I just never hit the loss limit because of the way I trade it. So Predator says that's a great way to do it. Small gains across multiple accounts, it adds up fast. Yeah, that's my point. Like, I want to end up having, you know, I don't know how many we can get, but at least 9. I want to get to maybe 10 funded accounts, and then, you know, we'll still keep the same risk to reward, I believe, on these 15-minute breakouts. But even on days where you just make a little bit, you know, it adds up. Like you said, you don't need a whole bunch. But on days where you get the full 750 with one contract, 5, 6 funded accounts, even 10 funded accounts, those are going to be nice days. So you can eat those days where you lose $300 a day across 10 accounts. You know, it's $3,000. But then on the days where you make the $7,500, you know, you'll make $7,500. So you only got to win once every 3 days to make it profitable, and that's it. That's all you got to win. 1 W every 3 days. So we're coming into 10 a.m. here. We'll switch over to the 5-minute chart to look for our entry on this account here. I'll switch it over to the 5-minute in a few minutes. Once we cross 10 to look for our 5-minute fair value gap, whatever you want to call it. I just call it a gap, just to kind of keep it, you know. We're just looking for a gap. See, now this thing retested, and I like this here, but I do like the look of this. I think we get this push through the 50s now, probably pretty strong. Making us a nice A-leg down. Maybe retest one more time and then sell off here. Do got that gap down. Like I said, we marked it out down here at the 04s, 05 area. I put it all the way up at the 07 because once we kind of get to there, I kind of consider it filled. Maybe wanting to go fill that gap. Might be wanting to go fill that gap this morning. Testing the 60s. Like I said, I do like the look of this. I'd like a little pushback up here. ES directly hit that 24. Mancini says 24 is support. So let's see what happens there. See if we can get through there. All right, kind of retesting that 15-minute range now, which is kind of what we were talking about there a moment ago. This is kind of your B leg back up, so let's wait for this C leg to go back down. We might participate here short. ES is at the 24 support, so just something to be aware of. If we get a lot of volume come in here and it pushes off that 24 area strong, then we won't participate. But low volume push back up, we're okay with. So far, volume looks just fine on this little push back up. Looking okay. See if this thing turns back down. The ES back up to the 27s there. This could be a bounce, right? This could bounce right off that 24 support and just keep going. Pushing through that pivot there at the 81 area on the NQ. Volume's a little higher than I love at this point. But let's see what happens. Kind of trailing off now. Might be okay. Kind of trailing off. If it gets below the explosion line, we might go ahead and participate short here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take the short. We're not below the red volume hasn't came in yet, but I'm going to go ahead and front run it here a little bit. Participate short. Looking for 59 is my target. Stops at 84.75. So we want to see the sell volume come in here, push this on down. We might be a little early to the party, but that's okay. Yeah, push back up, stop this out. That's okay. So I didn't wait there. I saw volume kind of trailing off and tried to just kind of front run it a little bit, which is not really what you're supposed to do, but we rejected the pivot, so I thought that maybe we'd just push right back down, but did not happen. Should have waited for the volume to come in and show me the way there. That's where the WADA kind of protects you. We're still even on that account. We're plus or negative $2, so not a big deal. We were only up 20 bucks. We basically gave back what we were up. Should have waited for the WADA to tell me to get in there, but that was a little shallow ABC to the upside, actually. So let's see if the sellers are going to come in here. All right, so we're going to try to take the short again. Maybe we get burned twice on it, but target this time 61.75. Sellers above the explosion line this time, so let's see how this works out. Just watching the WADA. If the sellers disappear, we're going to kill it. Sellers are in there, but they're not pushing it down. The volume's not heavy enough yet. We're below that pivot, so as long as we stay below 81, I feel okay about it, but let's see what the sellers do here. See what the sellers can do. Trying to push it down here. Trying their best. All right, I'm just going to take it off right there, guys. Break even. I don't like how the sellers aren't coming in there. There's not coming in strong. We had one little green candle print there. It's kind of scared me out. Probably will end up pushing down. We got out for a dollar profit. Get a little bit of volatility right here in this area. Prices kind of, oh, there comes the sellers now. Just didn't quite wait long enough. Right there they are. There they are, pushing it down into the 70 here. See if we can get through that 70 strong. Now they're kind of disappearing. Yeah, I'd be careful here. ES back to that 24 support. ES has to lose that 24 to kind of get that move going down. There comes the volume. I like that volume. So we were just a little impatient on that C leg there. I tried to front run it. That's why I don't typically do that. I don't typically take it. You know, I'll kind of show you guys what I'm looking at here on the WADA. Didn't quite mean to do it that large. So this is my A leg, right? Down. This is the B leg back up. So right when you see those two, when you see these candles right here get below the explosion line, I went ahead and took the short there. What happens? Green volume comes back in, stops me out. I get back short right here, and then the volume's just like, it is ticking up, but then we have that one green candle print. And when that one green candle printed, I got out for basically break even. And then what happens? Doo -doo 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 -doo. Right to my target. So shouldn't have tried to front run this one. I don't know why I thought to do that. Should have just waited and been a little. I probably could have been a little more patient on that C leg down there, but that's all right. So that would have been a nice little 15-point winner right there, but instead it was just a 1-point winner on top of a 10-point loser. That's what happens sometimes, I guess. That's what happens. Seller's trying to come back in here, push this thing down a little more. It's kind of chopping around here. I mean, you can see this 5-minute chart, you know, kind of creating that idiot box over here. You can see it on the 1 minute too. Just got this area. Kind of wicked below it a few times, but just at the bottom of this 15-minute range, just not wanting to go. The longer it holds up here, the more I think that we get this push back up, get above the VWAP, and kind of whoop, back to the high day there. So what we've tested the bottom of this range once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. You know, it's just like 10 times we've tested it here over the last 20, 30 minutes, and it's just not able to get through there and hold or push on down. So I would be looking probably for some longs if we're going to be looking for anything. On this 5-minute breakout, this gap, it would probably feel a little better about a long here, especially as long as the ES holds up at that 24 level there. As long as it doesn't let that level go, we'll probably be considering a long. So let's see what we're currently up. 190 times 3. I don't know what that is. What is that? 270. So that's 570. So 570, and then what is the other one? So really just 570. That's the funded accounts. I don't really count the other ones because they're not funded accounts. So we're up like about $590. May have a choppy day today and tomorrow. I don't know how choppy it'll be, but possible considering we got that CPI on Wednesday. But I'd imagine tomorrow might be a little more choppier. What's going on, Dylan? What's going on? Let's jump in here and see. Holy cow. It's kind of pushing back up into that 15-minute range again. Like I said, I kind of like longs here more than I do shorts. So let's see if we can get a push back up, get above that VWAP, maybe turn it into some support there, and then we can consider a long entry. So far rejecting the VWAP, can't get above it. ES kind of get above that 30 area to get going here. It's hanging out at the 27s. Kind of tested the 28s a couple times, unable to get above there. Well, just as we say that, the sell volume comes in here strong. Look at this. Testing the bottom of that range now. Testing the good old idiot box. Through the 50s. Probably get a little pop back up above the 50s here. Maybe not, though. This thing is just selling hard. Then going for that gap fill down there at the 03s, 04 area. Possible. ES losing the 24. See if we get a little retest here. Get a little push back up. A little retest, and maybe we'll participate short. So failing to get above that pivot and the VWAP there. Yeah, volume did come in fast. I'd like to see a little push up. I don't think we're gonna get it. I don't know. Push back above the 50, maybe 55. Give me 55. And we'll enter. Get it back above 50 there. Just kind of watching here. There's 52. Like a little more of a push up. Hanging out at the 50 there. Just kind of watching the water here, guys. See what it's telling me. I'm going to enter short here, probably. Just waiting. I want a little bit more of a push up. See if this thing sells down into the 30 here. 32 is the target. Currently short from the 47. Looking for 15 handles. Looking for the 32. Stop will go to break even once we get to 10 handles here. Well, it'll lock in 5 or something like that, I think. That's what I got it to do. If we can get to 10 handles. So, I like that there's no real buyers here. Although the ES is back above the 24s. Don't really love that, to be honest. It's testing the 24 there. Pushing back up. Let's give it a little bit of time. There's the 41s. Come on. You got more. All right, stops in at break even. I don't really like how this thing's acting here. It's either going to sell or it's going to bounce. Come on. Let's go. There's the 40, so looking for 32. Looking for 32. Sellers haven't really came in yet, so that's a good sign if we're still pushing down and the sellers haven't really shown up. So stops in. Oh, come on. Stop me out. Feels bad. It's trying to get that thing to push on down into the 30s, but ES holding that 24 level pretty strong. Unable to kind of lose it. It tested it there at the 22s, and then I may re-enter here. Let's see if the volume comes in strong. We still haven't gotten any sell volume kind of come in yet. You guys can see here. This is what we're looking at. This is our A leg, so no sell volume to speak of as of yet. And we're still trying to push down, so I do like that. Let's just see if the sell volume comes in or if we're going to bounce. Still like the look of this for a move down. So I'm just waiting to see if sell volume comes in here or not. ES holding up there at the 24s. It's going to be a swift move down if this sell volume comes in. Feels like probably a swift move down into that 500 level. So just kind of watching here. Sometimes you got to be patient on these C legs. I tried to not really front run it, but I tried to, you know, get in early there. ES back above the 26. Don't love that. Could potentially get us a gap if we hold. If we hold that area. Doesn't really look like we're going to. Looks like we're going to bounce. Just waiting on the sellers to come in if they're coming in. They may not. So if we participate short, stop will be just above the skid mark here. So relatively low risk. Would like the ES to get below that 24, but it looks like it's going to bounce here, guys. Looks like we may get a push up, but okay. So we do have a gap there on the 5 minute. So you guys can see. Let's see where the stop needs to be on this. $81, so 55 to 81. What is that? 65, 75, 26. So we're looking for 52. So the take profit would be at 03. So basically at the gap fill. For this 5 minute play here. All right, we're tagged in there. So if this thing is going to sell, we will be participating. It's only risking about $100 on this play for, you know, a $200 winner. So let's see what happens. ES pushing that VWAP there. If it gets above the VWAP, that'll be frightening. But we're not going to mess with it today. Last week I took off the trade, and it went right to where I was supposed to, right to where it was supposed to go. So we're not messing with it. This is on the Topstep account, so we're not worried about drawdown. We're already up $27. So if we're risking 50 or whatever it is, 100, it's not going to kill us to take a loss here. Basically, we want to keep that ES below the VWAP here if we're going to sell. So if it gets above the VWAP, then that's going to be bad news. And it's pushing the VWAP now up into the 30. Still no real C leg to mention over here. I mean, we got the nice A, this kind of a slow grinder back up. Want to see this thing sell down. See, 55, 65, 75. So what are we risking here? 50, 65, 75. Yeah, so 26. Yeah, so it's only $52. I don't know what I was talking about. So we're risking 52 for 104. So we'll be down about $25 if this fails. ES rejecting the VWAP there. That's what we want to see. Want to see this thing stay below the VWAP. We got a pivot and the VWAP right there at the 80, 81 area on the NQ here. So as long as we stay below that, we got a chance here. Sellers coming in there. You can see on the WADA above the explosion line. Looking good there. I like that. That's what we were waiting on. Proper C leg. Now let's see how much we can get out of it. Now, on this 5-minute strategy, there is no moving the stop unless we get to 1.5. If we get to, I think it's 75%. So if we get to, if we're looking for 100, or wait, 26, 50, 54, 52, we'd have to get to like 45 handles. We could move the stop to 1-to-1. So whatever that is. We get to like 13. We can move the stop down 26 handles, but still no proper C leg yet. See the volume kind of pushed in there and then kind of dying. We're on the micros here, not worried about anything. That's the reason why I switched this level over to micros, because this way you're not worried about if you lose on it. If you lose, you lose. Not a big deal. ES pushing the VWAP again here. Trying to get above there. Not in love with that. We have a little shallow ABC to the upside there that it's kind of playing out right now. Yes, pushing above that 20 SMA and the VWAP, trying to right there at the 30. I think if we can just get the ES pushed back down into that 24, that probably give us what we need, but it's pushing through the VWAP now. Not looking good for this trade. We're going to need to reject that VWAP hard, otherwise it's just going to stop us out. I do kind of like the quickness of the trade, though. You know, like, let's get in, and if we lose, we lose. Let's make it quick. Make it quick and painless. Get it over quick. That way it gives us an opportunity to maybe take another trade to get the 20x dollars back. But looking like we're going to get stopped out here. This is where I would want to just manually take it off, but I'm not going to. I did that last week. I was like, I don't like the look of this. I took it off, and then it ran right to the target. So I took it off for max pain. It was a loser. It was like a $300 swing, too, on micros, with 2 micros. So I took a $60 loser, and then it would have been a $300 winner, or $240 winner. So ES above the VWAP there, holding at the 32s. Nasdaq below the VWAP most certainly looks like it's going to push through there. Switch back over to the 3-minute chart here, see if the VWAP is in a different spot. Nah, it's pretty much the same spot. A little bit of a pullback here. Looking a little roundy there on the 10-second chart, but that pivot right there at 81 1/4. So we got our stop right at the pivot. Probably going to push through right here and stop us out. And not yet. Be funny if it sold down now, right? Be funny. That would just be hilarious. Hey, Kelvin, you mentioned that you're trading Forex. Who are you using for Forex? Are you still doing that? Have you switched over to futures at all? Or have you considered the futures? That tickled the stop right there. Just tickled it. You see a bunch of sell volume coming in here if we're gonna sell. I don't feel like we are, but ES held that 24 strong there. Tested it and just couldn't get through there. All right, ES rejecting that 34. We'll see what happens here. Maybe. There comes the sellers. All right. Giving us a proper C leg here or what? ES pulling back into the VWAP. You're planning to trade futures for now. You're still on Forex. Nice. Yeah, I got a couple of buddies who are trading Forex. I'm trying to get them over into the futures game. Wow, you can't come any closer to the stop there without hitting it. You literally can't come any closer. Now see, this is where I want to just take it off and just be happy with like a break even. But we're not going to. ES testing the VWAP there. I want to get that ES moving below that VWAP, get it down into that 24 level again. I think that would give us what we need. Moving below the VWAP here down into the 28s. Retest that 24 level here for us. Back into the 26s for the ES there. Want to see that ES continue to push down here. It's pushing back up. Trying to retest that VWAP. Want to see it kind of stay below that VWAP. Did have a couple of volume imbalances there on the 3-minute chart that it may have just came back to refill before continuing higher. But let's see if this thing keeps moving lower here for us. We can break through that 38 area right there. I think we can push on down. So let's see what happens. Yeah, I know everything in me, Kelvin, wants to move the stop or just take it. But that's why we're on the micro, to make it a little easier mentally. Gonna get through this 50 area, break through that 40 strong. I think we can get going to that gap fill there, but want to get the ES continue to push down, retest that 22, 24 area. Holding up right there at the 27 for now. Back into the 26. Now back up to the 28, pushing back up here. For the moment. Not going to break the rules, because if I break the rules, then there's no point in doing the test. There's no point in testing it if we break the rules. So let's just let it do what it's going to do, and we will accept it. We'll be a gracious winner and a gracious loser. Yes, just hanging out there at the 27s. Like I said, kind of got to get that thing going if we're gonna do it. Got to get it going to the downside here. All right, testing the 26s once again. Probably going to have that ES lose that 24 level. It's going to have to lose that 24, 22 really to get us where we need to go here, I think. Back to the 26s. Let's see. Mancini says 24 now supports. If we lose 24, we dip back to the 11s. That's what we need. We need a dip into the 11s for sure. A dip into the 11s will get us there. All right, she's testing 25 again over here on the ES. Acting like she wants to sell, but it's not doing it yet. It ran the high already. Ran the high, created a new high. We got the low of the day down there at the 08s. Run back to that low and then do whatever you want to do. Testing the 25s once again. Testing the 25s. on the ES. Sellers starting to come back in here. You see on the WADA, trying to get above that explosion line, not quite able to do it. ES there at the 25s. Down into the 24s now. All right, you got to push through the 20s here. You got to get through those 20s if we're going to go. ES needs to break through the, or I'm sorry, NQ needs to break through the 40s there. No sellers to speak of yet, man. They need to come in here strong. Let's get going. Get in here strong. Show these bulls you're in control. ES held up right there at the 25s. Very, very low volume over the last few minutes here. Other than that one push down. There comes the buyers. Not quite what you want to see. This would be kind of a shallow ABC though here. A, B, C, little A, B, C, little push back up. But I know, just fill the gap already. That's all it needs to do. It's not that difficult. The longer it holds up here, the less I like it though, to be honest. I think we talked about that earlier in this area. The longer it kind of held up in this area, the less we like the shorts. ES holding that 24 area strong, so. No real C leg for us though. I mean, we got this A leg, you'd think eventually. I mean, I guess maybe that's the C leg. I don't know. Could be. A, very long B. A leg down, B leg up, C leg back down. Maybe. I wouldn't think so. It is testing the patience though, I'm not going to lie. It's just making me want to just close it and be done. No, we're not going to. Let it do whatever it's going to do. Yes, trying to test the 25s here. Just got to get going. Got to get going to the downside. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. Trying to push into that 1,000 subscriber range, but not quite there. 250-ish right now, maybe 249, I think, at the start of the video. If you are interested in trading futures, we do have the link to Topstep down in the description. And like I said, if you use my link, you can get it for $39 right now. And pushing up here, looks like this might be the death of us right here. 80% off for Apex ends tomorrow. Or maybe is that tonight? Or is that tomorrow? Let me see. I don't remember. Tomorrow, 80% off. Coupon code in the description for that. 40% off Bulenox in the description as well. Those all help the channel, so any of those are appreciated. We're just not going anywhere right now. I mean, this thing is just not doing anything. It's chopping around. It is that time of day, though, where that tends to happen. Trying to retest that VWAP here on the ES. Nasdaq trying to do the same. This might take us out. Teased us earlier, didn't quite get us. See if it gets us this time. Need the ES to reject this VWAP here. If it gets above there, then we're going to probably get stopped out. It's testing it now at the 30. Touch the VWAP, pulling back into the 28 now. Just kind of watching. Nothing we can do now. ES back to the 28. Hanging out at the VWAP. Gotta get away from this VWAP. Gotta kind of get away from the VWAP. So ES kind of rejected the VWAP there. A little bit of a pushback down. 27 on the ES there. Back to our entry one more time, maybe. Back to our entry once more? Or what are we going to do here? What are we going to do here? Oh, man. Oh. Painful price action here this time of day. Painful price action. It is easier to watch this when I'm like not here. When we're not here staring at it. And pushing back above here. ES still below the VWAP. Nasdaq trying to push above. Sorry about the dog barking, guys. You know how it is. Not much you can do. Not much you can do there. He hears something. He barks at it. That's what he does. All right, this might be the pain right here. This might just be the pain. Nope, not yet. Not yet. Come on, sellers. You aren't sellers. I said sellers, not buyers. Come on. You can turn down. You did it earlier. Give us a nice proper triple top right there. A little triple top. Turn it down. Yeah, still below the VWAP. My mom's here. All right, stopped out there. Feels bad. What can you do though? We gave it the old college try. That's all we can do. We gave it the college try. That's okay. So ES kind of rejecting the VWAP there as well. Still not getting above it. ES holding up there at the 29s. We might. Yeah, we're only down $26. Can't complain too bad. I mean, that's really not, it's nothing. It's 1 point on the NAS. 1 point. We might try to get it back in a bit. We'll see if we can something up. If it offers us a entry, then we will take it. All right, ES trying to test the VWAP here. Nasdaq obviously above it. Trying to start pushing here. Do we dare? Do we dare consider a long? Let's see here. Look at this WADA. At the pivot right there at 81. If we can kind of get above that pivot, come back, turn it into some support there, then maybe, but kind of choppy in this area. Probably won't start getting a move in a direction until that 11:15 time. Another 20 or 30 minutes. Just kind of trading in this range here for now. Pretty wide range though, 36. It's 50-point range really. NQZ3. Oh, excuse me. Had to sneeze. Had to sneeze. We're going to look for a scalp, $100 scalp in here. Find us an ABC setup. Let's see if we can't get a 5-handle scalperoonie on the Nasdaq over here. So we're kind of above the VWAP there. We do got 90 in play up here. He is pushing above the VWAP there. Just trying to wait here. We'll be patient. See if we can't five handles to get us back to the green. So volume coming in here. We're right there at the 90 though is the only thing. Pulling back, maybe touch that VWAP once more. Or not VWAP, the, well, pivot and the VWAP. It's kind of failing to push up there. Hit that 90 and rejecting. Testing the VWAP here on both the Nasdaq and the ES. A little bit of sellers coming in here. Nothing huge yet, but there are some sellers coming in. Sellers coming in pretty heavy now. All right, we're going to participate here. See if we can't get a quick little move down. Stop's going to go to break even. Well, I moved it too fast. Why I do that? Knew it was kind of a dangerous move down, but I was just trying to get those quick 5 handles. It's like, let's just move it down to break even there quickly. So this is kind of your A leg down here. Really, we want to wait for the C leg anyway, but holding below the VWAP there. Maybe we push back up, retest the VWAP here, and then start selling back down. Still got that gap to the downside there. Sellers coming back in here strong. ES back to the 26th. Kind of watching here, retesting the VWAP here. See this thing. Got the pivot and the VWAP right there at the 81. ES lagging behind a little bit here. Oh, do we dare? I don't know. Gonna wait because it's, you know, we got these wicks to the upside here. Just kind of rejected that VWAP a couple times. So let's see here. We get one more print above the explosion line here, then. All right, we're gonna take this, and we're either gonna lose 100 or gain 100. All right, we're gonna go to break even here. There we go. So pretty easy read there. Very shallow ABC there. You can see it better on the 10-second chart here. Kind of got your A leg down, B leg up, tested the pivot, C leg back down. You can see the volume here. So I got in short at the second spike above the explosion line there. Nice little shallow ABC there. Just looking for 5 points. Obviously could have got a little more, but that's just being results oriented there. We're only looking for 5. That's what we got. So it brings us back into the profit there on that account. It's kind of what I've been doing with it. If we lose on the 5-minute gap trade, or if we lose on the 15-minute breakout, I try to just get them back to green if we can. Nice trade, thanks. Yeah, I moved the stop too fast again. I don't know why I do that. Still moved the stop too fast there. And she's in sell mode now. Feels kind of bad on that 5-minute because it just stopped us out. And now it's back through our entry. The Apex is green, $1.84 on the Apex. $1.84. We don't have a whole lot of drawdown on that Apex account. We're still fighting. $235 in drawdown. So that one's going to be a battle to get it back, but we're not giving up. What's going on, Smurf? What's going on? Jump in there and listen to you guys, put you guys on the stream.
See you, Alan. We're horsing up your Discord.
See?
Or your YouTube.
See, he doesn't know I'm listening to him. He'll hear himself in a second. See if we can hear myself speak. It's kind of holding up there at the 50s. Holding up at the 50s. Maybe we lose the 50s here. Kind of testing the bottom of this range possible. Down into the 40 area again. Yes, testing that 24 level once again. Then held up there a couple of times. There we go. Sellers coming in here. Well, trying to come in. See if this ES breaks through this 22 here. Kind of a difficult area to short because ES is right there at the low. Might bounce here. Let's see. 21s. If we lose the 20s, I think we sell down towards that low a day at the 08s. But as long as we hold up here. A little pushback up here on the NAS. Back up into the 60. See if the sellers want to come in here and push this down the rest of the way, or if we just continue to pop. Feels like we might pop here. Get the ES back above that 24 there, kind of get back going. Maybe back up into the VWAP at the 30. So not a whole lot of volume to speak of on this push back up. ES testing the 20s. I'm taking the short here. I'm going to take the short here, see if we can push down into the 30s quickly. Might give some back, but that's all right. Let's just see. ES tested the 20s. Need to see if it can lose that 20 area. I want to see these sellers come on in here and push this thing down. Not showing up yet. We might just kill it. And re-enter if we have to. Give it a little bit of time here. So we're short from the 47.25. ES holding up there at the 20. I want to see the ES lose that 20 if we're going to push down. At least get down to the bottom of this range. All right, we're just going to kill it. Let's took a $12 loss there. Just on the micros, buyers are kind of coming back in here, pushing this back up. ES bouncing back into the 22s. Thought we might lose it there, but it didn't happen. Was a little shallow ABC back to the upside. It's kind of what it looked like, but we jumped in when we just saw that spike of volume to the downside, thinking, hey, it's going to sell. That's why I like to wait for the C legs to form. You know, just take the C leg, but on that one we didn't. ES trying to get back above that 24 level here. The ES kind of gets above that 24 level, we can get going. Kind of chopping around here for the most part, not really making a move. We can take these off. I'll keep forgetting you don't have to double click on here. It's kind of hanging out at the bottom of that 15-minute range. ES retesting the 24s here.
see where this is going. I need to add Harry as a. I need to add Harry as an emoji.
I told Nadia, I was like, I heard you're going on tour with Kid Rock. Congrats. He read it and laughed. I don't think he fully got it though.
Let's just watch here. Maybe a little pullback. Maybe retest that 50 area once more, and then maybe we can try to participate long once the volume comes back in here. Kind of, honestly, kind of sluggish at this point, though. Let's see.
He closed at the very bottom.
See if the buyers kind of come back in here. This will be a little bit of a shallow ABC back to the upside. I don't know, though. Let's just look. ABC, yeah. Yeah, still below the 24 there. Need to get that thing above 24s to kind of get pushing. It's back to the 22s. All right, let's see if we can get a push up into the 68s. See if this thing will push to the 68s. Nope, selling back down. Gonna hold the 50. I want to see if it holds the 50 here. Maybe push up into the push back up into the 60s. Almost feels like it's gonna sail here. Kind of feeling that way. Sell volume hasn't shown up really yet. Let's look and see here. 2020. See if we can't find one more entry here and see if we can't make a little something happen. All right, see if this thing can push into that 65 area. Looking for the buyers to come in here, push this thing up into the 65s. Close. They got it close. Almost all the way there. Just kind of chopping around at this point. Just kind of chopping around. ES holding up there at the 20s. I mean, as long as it holds there, you kind of feel like this thing's going to push up. Just got to get going. Got to get above. Got to get away from that VWAP, really. That's what we got to be patient and wait for. This thing's got to get away from that VWAP. As long as it's holding up there at the VWAP. Just below it. I mean, we are kind of putting in some, you know, got a little channel going here, but nothing crazy. Some higher lows. Higher low, higher low. Not like by a great deal, but small amount. ES retesting the 20s once again. All right, about to test the 50s here. Let's see if we hold. ES back at the 20 there. Losing the 20. Or at least testing the 20. I think it went back to 1975. And bouncing here. Little pop back up right off the 50 there. Pretty strong. Traded back into the 47. Bounced all the way back up into the 59s. ES holding that 20 level strong there. Kind of a little bit of a divergence here on the ES. Kind of show you guys. Got to get this one on the right. Z3. So you can see we got a little bit of a divergence going on here with the ES kind of putting in lower lows and the Nasdaq putting in higher lows. A little bit of a divergence there. Get above that 24 there, we can get going. Pulling back here, back into the 60s. ES pushed up to the 23s there, didn't quite get to the 24. Now it's pulling back. Maybe taking a little rest here. See if we can't get through that 24 strong. Buyer slowing down for the moment. Maybe retest this 55 area. And then kind of push back up. ES is not pushing though. This is about the time of day where we start to get a move, so. Get above that VWAP, we can really get going here. The ES just gets above 24. I think that'll go a long way here. All right, see if we can get a push into 75 quickly here. Should be able to get a push into 75 if the ES can push up back into that 24 area. Buyers should be able to come in strong here. Get us on up there. $72 or $75. Proper sea leg. I mean, come on, get to the 75s. What are you waiting on? ES just unable to get above that 24. I guess that's what the problem is. That's what the problem is. All right, there we go. Now you're starting to get a little push. $75. There it is. Boom. All right, ES trying to get going here, pushing above that 24. Get above that VWAP here, turn that VWAP into some support. Maybe we get going. Maybe we can get going. Well, guys, I do think that's probably going to do it for me today. I'm going to go ahead and just shut her down, lock in my profits. So up $6 over here on the Apex account. Nothing to write home about, but, you know, $6 profit. 77 here on Topstep, and then we'll show you guys these that you already saw earlier, but if you just joined us, 190 on that one, 195 on that one, and 195 on that one. And obviously we have these that I don't really count these in my daily profit, but around $400 on each of these top steps. So nice thing is we are only on the top steps 50,000. Where's it at? Current balance. Oh, 50,986. So we need about $2,000 to get those funded. So that'll be the goal by the end of the week. See if we can't get all those top step accounts funded. That'll be 3 more funded through them. The goal is to get those 3 funded and then close this. I'm just going to liquidate this Top Step account once I get those funded because I want to get away from Trade-Evade altogether. I want to just trade copy. And you cannot switch this Trade-Evade funded account or this Top Step on Trade-Evade funded account over to Quant Tower. I don't know why, but you just can't. So you see the equity in this account, $550. So not a lot, but we'll try to build it up as much as we can. So if you guys haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe. Feel free to chat down below. You have a great day. Oh, yeah. Well, can't chat. We're leaving. You have a great day too, Predator. But if you guys are interested in trading futures, I do recommend Topstep. Link in the description. 80% off Apex ends tomorrow. So any of those help the channel. And we will see you guys live again tomorrow, 9:15 a.m. for the New York session. Thanks for watching.